All right. Do you prefer me calling you Johnny? Because a lot of people know you that way, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, one of my directors tells me John T. Is that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
John T.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So I'll stick to Johnny.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for 13 years.
Yeah.
Have you found that the perceptions around tattoos have changed?
Yeah, of course. And you see, like most people, they think that tattoos are evil, and also we are advancing in artwork. And now, to shock you, I am born again. I'm a pastor. I preach the gospel as I do the tattoos.
Really?
Yeah.
But so, I mean, you know, there's like some of the views we had,
Yeah.
you know, the people who view them with suspicion.
Yeah.
Did you get some of that?
Yeah, of course. Okay, before I got born again, I used to do even demonic tattoos and everything. So after I gave my life to Christ, I was about to leave this job. Then at some point, God told me, just stay there. So I was trying to explain to him what the Bible says about the tattoos. Then he gave me very many verses. I was so shocked. So from that time, I knew that God had already called me into this ministry of salvation and preaching the gospel, and at the same time doing tattoos.
So you minister as you do the tattoos.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the most popular designs that people come to you for?
Like butterflies, holy hands, like let's say like tribals, the design, and mostly like Bible verses. Because for me, I no longer don't do demonic tattoos, so I normally control my clients. Yeah.
All right.
Most of them they have to abide with my rules.
Oh, so you have certain rules that you apply before you go ahead and tattoo someone.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that are definitely a definite no-no for you? For example, tattoos, as far as minors are concerned, what's your position on that?
Okay, most likely, like for me, okay, repeat your question.
Like, is it a no-no for you? Would you not give a tattoo to a minor, for instance?
Of course.
Because you know, did you hear about the incident in Nyeri?
Yeah.
We had 10 students who were suspended because they had tattoos, and the school said we'll only accept them back if they remove the tattoos. So would you acquiesce to giving a minor a tattoo, for instance?
No.
You would not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because you see, like they are underage, and then the school is a problem. So you see, unless you are accompanied by a parent, I can't do that tattoo.
Really?
Yeah, unless you are 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one of the standards you've set for yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So is there a particular tattoo that if you do it one more time, you just feel like, come on, guys, let's get more creative than this?
Yeah, like mostly, you see, like the moment you keep on repeating the same design, you just feel bad. Or maybe you are doing like a big tattoo for the whole day. You see, like in artwork, you just want to do like different designs. So you get bored doing one design, at the same time, or repeating the same design.
So what like you said, like for example, the butterfly tattoo is something people that is
common.
popular in the holy hands. All right. So what's the most challenging tattoo you've ever done?
Like portraits. Yeah.
That now somebody brings a picture maybe of their loved one. And you have to tattoo it on them.
Yeah.
So what makes it difficult? The intricate detail, or
like we see, like mostly like small children. If you bring a photo of a small child, they don't have details. So getting that artwork is very hard, because at some point you might do that tattoo and the child will look older than he looks. Yeah, you have to be very careful. Yeah.
So portraits are difficult for you to do?
Yeah, portraits are very difficult. So I normally take my time. I can take like 4 hours in one portrait.
4 hours? That's a long time. Your arm doesn't cramp up?
I'm used to it. Yeah.
All right, I've seen the sleeve tattoos. How long does something like that take to do?
It will depend with the design, because some sleeve tattoos can take like, let's say like even 2 days, even a week, according to how detailed it is.
All right. Yeah. So tell me, how important is hygiene? Because we had the tattoo artist we had in that particular feature, and he said hygiene is critical. So what are some of the measures that you take to ensure that there are no infections post-tattoo?
First of all, before you open a tattoo shop, you have to have a sterilizer, the autoclave sterilizer. Then from there, every tattoo you have to give the client a new needle for them to confirm. At some point, even for them even to open for themselves. So from there, you have to wrap everything with a clean film. even where they are sitting, like where they are going to place their hands, or if you're getting a tattoo on the hand or on the leg, you have to wrap nicely so that you avoid any infection. And then after that, you have to show them how to treat the tattoo with the cream, which is called grabacin ointment. And then from there, you have to cover the tattoo for like at least 2 hours or 3 hours with the gauze. Yeah, a sterile gauze.
All right.
Yeah.
Are there certain people with certain medical conditions that would not qualify, for instance, for a tattoo?
Yeah, like those ladies who normally bleach, that is a big problem. Because the ink keeps on distorting from the artwork.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, so once you see that, you just tell them it's not possible to give them a tattoo?
At least you will want them, because mostly they normally insist. And most of them, they normally come to cover stretch marks. You know, the moment you bleach yourself, the stretch marks will come out like no one's business. So you have to cover them.
You meet a lot of interesting people in your line of work. All right, so that's one of the medical conditions. I mean, sorry, you're saying somebody who's bleached themselves, that's a challenge in terms of getting the tattoo, because you said the color distorts. All right, how do, you know, one other worry as far as tattoos are concerned is how they look when you age. We know when your skin starts to sag. Is that a valid concern? Of
course, the tattoo have to change. You see, like maybe you got a tattoo when you are fat, then the moment you grow thin, the tattoo have to change. Yeah.
So, okay, so
and most likely, maybe you are covering like stretch marks on the tummy, like those ladies who have already given birth. Those tattoos at some point, maybe after you give birth for like to a second child, it might change. Yeah.
People actually come to get ink to cover up stretch marks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. What are the most, in terms of the pain threshold, does that differ with every client you get?
Yeah. First of all, we normally advise our clients, like the position that you are going to get the tattoo, you have to warn them that this part is very painful, and this part at least it is not that painful. Like most likely on the ribs, on the fingers, where there is no flesh, a lot of flesh, it is very painful. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, just repeat those body parts for me. So you said where it's fleshy, it's less painful than close to the bone.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Most painful part of the body for you in your experience?
Like on the neck, on the ribs, on the fingers, ankles, and maybe at the spine.
Okay, I'm just already getting pins and needles. Do you get people who are afraid of needles, actually, and still insist on getting a tattoo?
Yeah, some even faint. So you have to relax and wait.
wait. People actually faint?
Yeah, some even vomit. So you have to be ready.
For anything?
Yeah.
So what do you do in an instance like that?
You have to give them time to cool, then you continue.
Perhaps,
and if they are not able to continue, you can maybe reschedule the appointment. Yeah.
So do you work alone at Ink City, or do you have a team?
I have a team right now. I am working with my sister. In fact, I've been working with her, like I think from 2008. Then I have another 2 guys who have already joined me. I'm training them. Yeah.
Okay, so you taught your sister how to...
In fact, my sister, she just cleaned the place and talked to my clients, and also she does piercings. I've trained her to do piercings.
Oh, so she doesn't do the actual tattoo work. Yeah. So is it important to have that artistic ability?
Of course. Yeah.
So it's not like a template that you use, you work off of?
Okay, what we normally do, because of time, we normally first print the design. Then now we make the design, because you see, like now designing the whole artwork from scratch, it will take time, and the clients are not ready to pay for that. So at least now we choose from the internet, then we print it, then we make the stencil. Okay. Yeah.
So okay, tell me, cost-wise, give me a range. Like this, I've seen the small tattoos that people sometimes put on their wrists. So give me a range of how much it would cost, let's say for a wrist tattoo, a small tattoo on the wrist, and maybe a sleeve.
Yeah, like most likely the small tattoos, like we can charge like 1,500, and maybe a sleeve tattoo like 30, 20. It depends.
Okay.
The artwork, yeah.
And does the ink fade over time?
Of course, like now you see the ink I used to use before, it fades a bit. It is called dynamic. So I came to realize that there's another ink which is more darker than it. So it is called the Zappa Black. It's so dark, you can even do a Sudanese tattoo and it will still show.
Oh, really?
Not that much, but it will still at least show.
So, okay, of course, with over the years, there have been advancements as far as the ink is concerned. All right, so what's the weirdest thing somebody has ever asked you to tattoo on them?
Like, before I got born again, people used to come for very weird tattoos. Like ladies, they used to cover them in weird places, those private parts, and I was like, okay, it's work, I have to do it. But the moment I got born again, I stopped doing those tattoos.
So that actually happens?
Yeah.
And then what happens if somebody maybe gets a tattoo of their boyfriend and then they go and break up? Do they come to you to rewrite it?
Yeah, they come for cover-ups. I'm good on that.
Oh, so what's a cover-up? Tell me about that.
Cover-up, it is initially like someone, you already have a tattoo that you don't want, so we come with a bigger design that will cover it completely. Interesting. Like yesterday I was doing a cover-up. Yesterday you were doing a cover-up. Yeah.
Okay, so do you get a certain age range? Like, mainly who are your clients?
Let's say like from 20 to like 35 to 40 there. Yeah.
So you really get 60-year-olds walking through your doors?
In fact, I've done someone who was 80 years old, but she was an Indian. She was getting eyebrow tattoos.
Oh, eyebrow. Who can get eyebrow tattoos? Maybe I should come and see you later. For that. All right. So you have tattoos, I see. What do they say?
Like this one is Days of Grace. This is my daughter, Susan. This is my name, John, and Esther, my wife.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's your family.
Yeah.
All right. So who did it for you?
In fact, this one I did it to myself. I was training myself back in 2008. Yeah, and 2007.
Are you? How do you do your own tattoo?
You see, like, if you're a tattoo artist and you don't have tattoos, people will be like wondering how comes you're still doing tattoos and you don't have any tattoo. So how can you explain the pain? So I had to challenge myself. At that moment, I could not afford even paying for a tattoo because I was just starting. So I had to prepare myself at least so that I can get something to show the clients. Yeah.
It wasn't painful?
Of course, it was painful.
And you still kept going?
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to do that?
This one, like, let's say like a year. Because I was doing like one tattoo, then I stay for long, then I do another one. Yeah.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a long time. That's commitment. I see you have another one on your neck.
Yeah.
Is it an eagle?
Yeah, this is an eagle.
Okay. So you definitely did not do that.
Yeah, of course. I was done by another tattoo artist.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you consider when you're going to a tattoo artist?
Of course, the hygiene, and also how long I have been in the game. So I like for this I went to Steve Bally. He used to be in Capital Center. Yeah.
So he did that one for you.
Yeah.
All right. I take it that at that point you'd been in business for a while. You could afford to have somebody else do it for you.
Yeah.
All right. So I come to you and I tell you, Johnny, I'm considering getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
What are some of the things I should consider?
Like most likely like the pain, and also are you sure you want to get that design? So you should first know the meaning of that design. Like for me, I told you I don't do demonic tattoos like the zodiac signs. You know, I've been there, so I know them. And at some point, even those that I don't know, the Holy Spirit will minister to me, and I'll know this thing is demonic. So I'll just tell you, let us first get the meaning of this design. Yeah. So after that, I realized that this tattoo is not nice and maybe it is demonic, I want to do it. Yeah.
All right. One long-running joke is that people sometimes print off Chinese characters off of the internet and get it tattooed on them, and then it ends up meaning something totally different, perhaps from what they intended. Did you get cases like that?
Of course, and that's why we love getting them from the Google Translator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At least you have to confirm that it's really the meaning of that design.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 13 years, how have you grown your business?
Okay. Now in fact, the moment I opened the shop, my shop was very small. So after some time now, I began to grow and now I expanded the place. Yeah.
Do you think it's an underserved market? Do you think there's opportunity for others to take up the art of tattooing?
Yeah, me, I can advise young people to come to this industry. It's so nice, but you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful. If you're a womanizer, trust me, you'll go down there. Yeah.
Okay, because you have lots of young ladies coming to you,
Yeah.
like you said, wanting tattoos, for instance, in intimate
Yeah.
places. So what's your vision?
Okay, my vision is to expand and to teach more artists, at least now, and also then I'll have to make sure that at least they don't do demonic tattoos, because I'm telling you, I have been there and I know at some point as I was doing those tattoos, I became demon possessed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember the moment I was receiving Christ, the demons were coming out. And I remember a long time ago, the moment I used to do those demonic tattoos, I could feel so nice. And I still continued. And at some point I felt maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. And I remember one day I got a vision in my dream. I saw myself in Egypt, and I've never been in Egypt. And that place, there were big pillars with a lot of demonic designs. And I heard a voice telling me, you are leading my people to hell.
Okay, so you're saying it's important, it matters what you get tattooed. It's important
really
what that message is. That people who have scripture tattooed on them, we have people who have faith, love, you know, those sorts of positive messages tattooed on them. Do you have people who come for removals or come to you to ask you, okay, I would like, let's say like yourself, somebody was not saved when they were younger, they got a certain tattoo with like you're saying, a demonic design, and now they come to you and they're like, I'm now a changed person, can they remove the tattoo?
Yeah, in fact I have a brother who normally does that. So I normally refer them to my brother. Yeah.
Also, how is it done, the removal?
Okay, he has a machine. You can do like the laser surgery or the electrocution. There's a tiny machine which keeps on burning the tattoo and it keeps on fading. But now that one you have to go like for 7 sessions.
That sounds very painful.
Not that painful.
Not that painful.
Like doing the tattoo, yeah.
Oh, it's just like doing the tattoo.
Yeah.
So you're able to get rid of the ink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like you said, maybe if somebody wants to do a cover-up, they can come to you and you can change the design of the tattoo.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody has a fading tattoo, you're able to color it back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe redesign it. If they are bored with the design, I can redesign it to something nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you wish you knew when you were starting out, apart from, you know, being what's the word, discerning in terms of designs? We've established that already.
Yeah.
What else do you wish you knew when you were younger, when you were starting out? How old were you, by the way?
I think I was 24. Yeah.
Okay.
23, 24 there.
What would you tell your younger self?
Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self, knowing what you know now?
Of course, right now I have advanced so much. Like the moment I started the tattoos, I was so scared. In fact, my first client, I just did for her an outline. I was so scared of shading that I'm going to rip off the skin.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, because you know the machine keeps on vibrating, so you have to be very careful. At some point, you can go so deep, and the tattoo turns to be a wound. So I used to do those mistakes so much.
Oh man.
In fact, for me, I trained myself through my clients. So after now, I got it. Now I had to call some of them to come for cover-ups. The work that I've already
And they
done.
accepted?
Of course.
Oh man, I'm not sure.
That moment I was doing for free. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The cover-ups I was doing for free. If I've already done a tattoo maybe and it came out bad, they had to come back. Yeah.
So did you work under the tutelage of someone?
At that moment, okay, I was employed by someone, but he was not a tattoo artist. Yeah, he was just there for the cash.
Wait, so you taught yourself?
Yeah, I taught myself.
How to
in
do
that shop.
tattoos?
Yeah.
Okay, so now there's YouTube. You'd think maybe now it would be easier for somebody starting out.
Okay, sometimes
or
you
is it
normally
necessary
try. Yeah,
that they
sometimes
become an apprentice first?
Yeah, it is good for someone to become an apprentice, because you see, like for YouTube, it will not help that much. Because now you see, like now for the tattoo, you have to be very accurate. Yeah, it's something permanent, and it's something that you can never rub. So YouTube is a bit tricky. Though you'll get some ideas in the YouTube, but now knowing how to tattoo, you have to be under someone. Yeah.
Okay, so they supervise you.
Yeah.
And you said you have some 2 gentlemen who you're training.
Yeah, right now I'm training, but now one went back to school, so I've just remained with one, and also I've been training my sister how to pierce. Though she's still piercing, but I'm now affirming her on how to do it, at least.
Okay.
Even some she's a bit not that much good, so I'm still training her.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you, like, in terms of government regulation, is it the city council which comes in to check maybe the sanitation? Who is it that you fall under?
In fact, it is the city council, and they normally give us the license, though we have never seen them coming to look for the hygiene part of it. So for the hygiene part of it, you have to be very careful. At least for the moment they will decide to come, at least you are safe. And also the safety of the clients, it is what matters a lot.
So it's not like if I was to open a restaurant, because as far as food is concerned, of course, there would be certain checks. With a tattoo parlor, it's not the same.
I think maybe the government have not just understood what a tattoo is. Yeah. So
you would say right now it's sort of an unregulated industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All
right. So what are some, if I come to you and I'm looking for design, do you give me a book? Do you tell me to just Google? Do you ask, like, what are some of the considerations in terms of artwork?
Like, most likely, we normally use Pinterest. Pinterest is much easier because we have a lot of designs in the Pinterest. So if you keep on printing designs and giving the client the books, you'll keep on repeating the same thing. Yeah, so it's good you advise them to go to Pinterest.
Have you ever been giving somebody a tattoo and they changed their mind midway?
Yeah, some are normally very scared. Maybe they didn't expect that kind of pain, so they will tell you maybe I'll come another day. Yeah, so sometimes you get to do only the outline. Yeah.
And just somebody says it's too much, I can't.
Because for the design, before you start, you have to be very sure. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so what are some of the people you look up to? Who are some of the inspirations? Because I'm sure the 2 gentlemen you're training look up to you and say, you know, one day I want to be as good a tattoo artist as Johnny. Yeah. Who do you look up to in terms of your professional career? Like,
there's a tattoo artist who is called Newton. He's so good, and in fact, he's the one at some point he corrected me when I was doing when I was still doing the tattoos.
Oh wait, so he's in Kenya?
Yeah, he's in Kenya. Okay. He's in Coast. Yeah, and he has another brother who's called Abu. He's in Yaya. Yeah.
All right. So you interact as tattoo artists?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say somebody comes to you, asks for a tattoo. You say no, I cannot do that tattoo. You then refer them to somebody else.
Like now, for me to refer them to the other guys, it will be a sin. You see, like, if it's a demonic tattoo, I won't do it, and I won't even refer you. So you would talk to them first? Yeah, I'll talk to them. And try to change their minds? Yeah. And convince them that perhaps there's a better design, better suited for them? Yeah. All right. So what message would you have for up-and-coming or tattoo artists? You know, I mean, tattoo artistry is really not something you hear much about on career day. Yeah, what I can tell them is, first of all, tattoo is good, but they have to be very, very, very careful. Like you were saying, especially you were telling us, if you're a womanizer, then it could serve as a pitfall. Yeah, you have to be very careful, of course, and maybe at least try to invest. Yeah. Okay. Try to invest, cause invest in what? Like buying land. Oh, okay. All right. Invest in real estate. So like the tattoo money is like that money of Makanga. You get the money daily. So if you're not careful, you'll just live a reluctant life. You can be wasteful if you're not careful. All right. So, I mean, there's no accreditation body for tattoo artists. Have you ever considered forming like an association? Okay. Most tattoo artists in Kenya, we are very, very busy. In fact, we have tried even going to the events, but at that point, the day you go to the events, in that moment you find out that in the shop, you'll find a lot of clients and they keep on calling you. So at some point, we even stopped going to for the events. Yeah. All right. Because of your busy schedules? Yeah. All right. Yeah. But is it something you think you'll consider moving forward? Not really, because you see, like for most of the tattoo artists, they are very, very busy.
No, but don't you think there needs to be some sort of regulation? You know, you've been there you've been doing it for 13 years.
Yeah.
You know, to keep other people from perhaps getting wounded in pursuit of the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's something you can give some thought?
I think now that one I have to talk to the tattoo artists, and we see whether we can get along with that kind of association. Yeah.
But do you think there should be more oversight, in your opinion? Because you're using needles, like you said, and you keep talking about, you know, cling film and the change of needles every time you're giving somebody a tattoo. Do you think there should be greater oversight?
Of course, it is. Okay, it will be very important. But now you see, like most tattoo artists, they normally train themselves. And now from that moment, they call themselves tattoo artists. So some are so rebellious that you can't even advise them. Yeah.
That's why I'm asking. It would be good to have an accreditation body, so that if I want a tattoo, I can go somewhere and then check, okay, who's accredited and who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it should be.
It would be really good, I think.
Yeah, it would be very important.
To keep people from having unfortunate
And you see, another thing
experiences.
is, like most of the clients, they love those cheap tattoos. So even if you try to advise them, they'll still keep on going in those places. Then now they come back to you to do the cover-ups.
To do the cover-ups.
So I think it is very important.
I think it's something to think about moving forward.
Yeah.
All right, it's been such a pleasure hosting you on AM Live Plus. His shop is behind Nation Center. Which building?
Royalty Building.
Royalty Building. Which floor?
Just first floor.
First floor.
Yeah.
And Ink City.
Yeah, Ink City.
All right, so people can also find him on Instagram and perhaps get some inspiration in terms of designs if they're considering it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do consultations and you don't necessarily have to go and do a tattoo the same day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it's something to think about for those who are interested.